Alright, we're at 10 seconds. On the go. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Alright,
so
and we're off.
Red team, we have Unknown Potato, Voxwave, JM Plays, and Triggerfinger rocking his scree. And on the blue team, we have Bad Joe, Kirby Derby, and Bowser Slave repping the boss team. We're on Serona for this starting match, so we'll see how it goes.
And to be clear, this is not the most recent of matches. 2.6 came out today, so if you're expecting like the old shop kind of system or all that kind of stuff, that's not here. Like, you still have loadouts in this, so people are stuck with what they picked up. And Kirby Derby is getting a lot of pressure. He managed to get out alive though. Bowser Slave does a bit of chasing, and it looks like everything's gonna work out fine. That Swiggins better not live. How did that Swiggins live? Bad Joe unable to quite close the deal, but he does manage to close the deal on Triggerfinger, who goes down to some bubblegum. And that's
also
it,
gets
Bad
the
Joe
kill
goes
on
home.
JM Plays as well, who was in the jungle. He chased him down hardcore. Bad Joe putting in work there as the Vinny. Nearly, it just misses the wipe. He should have got the wipe there, Bad Joe. Come on, man.
No, that was really well played, though. They managed to get the two first kills of the game. That gives them a pretty large solar advantage, already peaking 100 solar advantage for everybody on their team. So that's a good start, but let's see if they can keep it up against Team Unknown Potato. I don't think I've ever heard of Unknown Potato until this tournament, so their name fits, but well, how have they been doing in this tournament so far?
Really well, to be honest. They gave 99 Cents a good fight in their group stages, and they beat FUS, if you heard of them. Oh, good pickup by Bad Joe as well, as we chat about the teams.
Yep, he managed
really
to get a good dash off of the damage that was put out by the rest of his team, and down the Swiggins goes. Swiggins is going to have a really tough time this round, just because of how much burst damage the blue team can put out. Like,
yeah,
it's
going
brutal.
to find himself go in and then just get bursted down by all that.
No, it's going to be tough for him to play around that at all. Like, Swiggins is really inflexible in that sense. He needs to go in and do stuff, and he can't right now. The team is really, really strong up close. I'm also really happy to see this Penny being played by Team Boss here. How has Penny been represented in this tournament so far?
Not much, actually. I think this may be the first I've seen a Penny that I've casted. Some of the maybe in some of the other matches, I can't quite remember. But yeah, not many Pennies this tournament.
Yeah, which isn't totally surprising, all things considered. But Bad Joe gets chained down, gets away anyway. Voxwave almost... Oh no, he does get picked off. Bowser Slave does manage to get the explode on him. Down goes Swiggins. And wow, JM Plays almost goes down with it. And on the back end of things, because I'm still getting back into things, I missed Bad Joe killing off the Scree. So Bad Joe's been doing a lot of work for his team. He's got at least 3-4 kills now. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Bad Joe's on 4 kills to 0, and Bowser Slave also picked up that one on the Swiggins earlier.
Yeah, so currently 5-0 for Team Boss. They're looking like they're in a really good position. On Serona, that's a really good place to be. You get the momentum early, and if you can keep it, especially before the new patch, you're fine. Bad Joe almost gets pinned down, but one well-placed dash, and he gets out of the anchor. That anchor might need to be a little bit tougher if he's going to be able to use it against Vinny. Bad Joe's playing really, really well around that. Normally, that movement restriction murders him, but not this time. A little bit of an engagement happening up here. Yep. A little bit of an engagement happening up there. Nothing really coming out of it. And Unknown Potato is finally getting a little bit of ground. They've taken the middle. Let's see if they can keep it. And yep, they're holding on to the middle, just doing the thing. Explode coming out. Not much going to come out of that, unfortunately. Scree's pretty low now, though. He needs to run for his life, but can't. Bad Joe picks him off again. Bad Joe's just doing work all over the place right now.
Unknown Potato doing a lot of overextending where they shouldn't be.
Well, especially the Scree, who doesn't have a lot of escape mechanisms at his disposal. So that's maybe on Scree's. You know, like that's more on Scree than on anything else. But hey, Bowser's like Bowser's team, like Boss. There we go. Thank you. Boss is doing a really good job of capitalizing on their mistakes. Explode comes in, manages to hit the Swiggins, but it's only a 50 damage explode, so no one's really going to care. Scree's chasing down Bowser Slave. Bowser Slave is running. He doesn't get caught by the anchor, though. Bad Joe does. Bad Joe's running for his life. Bowser Slave gets picked off on the back end. Bad Joe's running, and oh, quick little
juke.
juke.
Escape under the worm?
He's going to try to, but he gets lightning bolted, and what? He barely manages to make it out alive. Kirby Derby managing to absorb a little bit of the electricity with him, so that way it was not like that way Bad Joe didn't take all of the shock damage right up front. So that was really good team play on top of a really interesting tiny juke that managed to keep him alive there. That was really impressive.
KBW trying his hardest to defend this now. Triggerfinger getting punished for trying to push a bit harder, and oh, Bowserslave gets caught in a really nice black hole from JM Plays.
Yeah, that black hole was really well placed. Without that, he might have actually been chased down. So Swiggins going ahead and doing an aerial teleport. He's going to be perfectly fine. The bottom turret's being pushed in a little bit by the red team. So Boss is going to go in and clean that up. And once again...
You guys also may notice the blue team are currently purple. I think that's a bug to do with Sentry in the black hole in 2.5's replays translating over 2.6. So sorry about that.
Yeah, if at the very worst, purple team. Oh, wow.
Voxwave doing a nut sneaky teleport, but Bad Joe just catches him out before he can finish it off.
Yep, and it looks like Boss is going to start taking over the middle again, or they're going to try to, but Sentry is doing a really good job of just keeping his presence felt. Bad Joe is in a bit of a sticky situation.
Kirby Derby helps him out, though.
Yep, with Kirby Derby's help, he should be able to get out, but Kirby Derby might... Oh, no, he's just as lucky as he should be. Scree's not going to be able to do anything. Like, he's good at chasing, but he's not so good that he'll catch a penny. So that's all fine. A little bit of tanking going on. Boss's Bowserslave going to deal a little bit of damage to the top turret. And, yeah, everything kind of resets. Blue's now control the middle area. Oh, dash. It will grapple and anchor drop in. But nothing really comes out of it. Bowserslave just does not care. Bad Joe's putting on an aerial fight against the Swiggins. Lots of chasing going on. And he gets shocked a little bit, but he's going to get out just fine. And the red team goes back to sort of controlling the middle.
Does look like blue team, well, Boss are definitely in favour of this at the moment. 7 kills to 1 total at the moment, and they've got that slight level advantage, and are holding the middle, farming that worm, which is still a thing at the moment. And
they have a pretty significant solar advantage just because of all the kills that they've got. With Bad Joe obviously taking the lead at 1100 solar total, and his two teammates hovering in at the high 900s. The opponent team is all at the mid 700s, yeah, so there's at least 200 solar going in advantage for every teammate on the blue team. It's pretty impressive just how much solar they have. But that's not to say that Unknown Potato is out of this. They are certainly not. If you've got access to Black Hole and Scree, then the game's not really over till it's over, so we'll see what happens.
A really nice poking dash from Bad Joe there, dashing to hit them and lands himself into the a jump pad as well.
Black Hole comes out. Bad Joe's in a really bad way, but JM Plays his sacrifice might not work out. He ends up getting killed. Bad Joe just gets picked off on the edge of that electricity. And Kirby Derby's going in, trying to get some harassment, trying to get a push. He gets caught by the anchor. Kirby Derby's trying to run. He's in a bad spot, gets picked off. Bowserslave, the only person left for Boss, but Snare Explosion doesn't quite work out the way he wants it to. Bowserslave now running for his life. Triggerfinger unable to really quite pressure the Clunk into dying. Clunk's a little bit hard to kill, even for a Scree.
That's what we call Bowserslave doing a Bowserslave. He over-predicted the Swiggins dropping down and just missed the Splode, unfortunately.
Yep, that and the Snare just wasn't long enough. He only has, I guess, 1 rank if he's got it. Let's go ahead and check. He does have it, but I'm guessing he only has 1 rank, so it wasn't quite enough. Bad Joe putting in a little bit of harassment. He should be careful, though. Sentry's got a pretty large black hole stored up right now, so that's something that Boss team needs to work out for, watch out for even.
So Unknown Potato had a shaky start, but seem to be making their presence felt now with that Sentry and Scree.
Yep, Sentry and Scree are a really good combo. Actually, I'm a little bit interested to know what they thought about putting in the Swiggins, but that's going to have to wait a little bit. There's a chase going in. Sentry is getting knocked down by by Bad Joe, but he manages to get away. The entire team actually getting pretty badly hurt, but the Scree especially. And all that's left to defend right now is Swiggins. Meanwhile, Bad Joe cleaning up the bottom. Blue team is going in now. They're putting pressure on both towers simultaneously. They want to get some towers at this point, and we'll see if they can manage to get some. Yep, the push has started. Oh! Well, not quite enough. The Penny manages to get away despite the totem being used and a grapple tossed out and all that stuff, so good job by Kirby Derby. Oh! Good dodge! Again, Penny managing to get away. Bad Joe is in a bad spot. Let's see if we can actually get to him.
Trigger may have overextended here.
Yeah, he did a little bit. Oh, Triggerfinger goes down. Triggerfinger goes down to the explode. That was really well played. Kirby Derby gets caught in a black hole and an anchor. Takes a little bit of damage, but otherwise is going to be perfectly fine.
That is the worst feeling in the world when you're caught in many different CCs.
Well, in that case, it wasn't so bad. Oh, Snare! It's explosion into death! Bowserslave manages to get off a really good one. Sentry trying to use the black hole. It misses. He almost gets knocked out, and then he gets killed by a good pulse snipe by Kirby Derby. So Blue managed to get pretty much a wipe. The only thing that was left was the Scree that they killed earlier. So, yeah. That was effectively a wipe. Triggerfinger's going in, trying to defend the top lane, but they can't exactly defend everything. Boss going in, doing some remarkable damage on the bottom tower. It's down to about a little bit less than a third. Triggerfinger taking some extra damage, and he's going to have to back off and heal. Right now, things are looking really good for Team Boss.
So yeah, we've seen that double snare and damage pickup from Bowser Slave, and damage and lifesteal on Bad Joe.
Yeah, and he also picks up the Godfish, so he now has extra damage on his bubble. It's a really cost-efficient upgrade. I'm happy that he has it. It's a very powerful little upgrade, but I'm kind of confused as to what exactly he wants to do with the rest of his dash. Now that he's got lifesteal, what does he go for? Seahorse Head? Who knows? Black hole comes out, it's going to whiff. Bowser Slave comes in, explode! It doesn't hit anybody, unfortunately, and the blue team's going to have to run for their lives. Bad Joe is running, and Kirby manages to get out of there too, but only by the skin of their teeth. I'm actually really interested in this Vinny's build. He only just picked up Cloud now, and he has had Solar Crab Burgers for quite some time. Normally, when you see Solar Crab Burgers, you see the Money Cloud come out pretty quickly right afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, Bad Joe, oh! Good drop in Explode from Bowser Slave. Doesn't manage to finish it off.
Nope, the Swiggins is just going to get away in time. JM Plays is in a bad spot. I don't know why he stuck around there for as long as he did. He should have snuck out as quickly as he could into the black hole, and they didn't even need the Bowser Explode to be able to pull that one off. But Bowser needs to run for his life. Ink shots are coming in, and he gets a good bite off instead. So now it's Swiggins who needs to watch out. Kirby Derby going in for some pom-pom hits, but the pom-pom isn't enough to get rid of Scree. Scree's actually doing really well, hovering around, putting in some harassment, and the rest of the blue team is going to go ahead and back off for now.
Really exciting stuff so far.
Yeah, no, everybody's doing an extremely good news. Wow, I need to watch my words. Everyone's doing an extremely good job. This is not over, despite the fairly large solar difference coming into play here. Again, the red team is, like, Unknown Potato does have a chance of being able to come back out of this. Anchor drop coming out on the Vinny. It's not going to do very much, unfortunately. It's more of a get-out-of-my-face tactic. Voxwave needs to get out of there. I think he needs to heal, and he probably will. Bad Joe goes in for a dash. It doesn't end up killing anybody. It hits Triggerfinger for a little bit, but Triggerfinger is going to be fine. Voxwave comes back into the fight. Grappled. Anchor drop. Bowser Slave is in a bit of a rough spot, but the anchor disappears. Triggerfinger's a little bit low, but he manages to help pick off Bowser Slave before anything too bad happens. He gets away. Black hole. Bad Joe's low. Kirby Derby's going to go ahead and dissuade them from coming any further, though. Wow, this is pretty awesome though. Like I haven't seen teams play like this in quite some time, so this is really interesting. It's
very brawly back and forth. There's no let up here.
Yeah, the numbers are really not showing the momentum of this match. Yeah, Boss is winning, but it's not like they're winning so hard that the numbers are like, yep, they should have taken out the two first turrets already. Like this has been a really interesting game for that. Penny going in, harassing.
Game so far it's been one big team fight, I think.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty consistent. Anchor drop going in on Kirby Derby. Kirby Derby's stuck there for the next little while. Bad Joe coming in to help out. Sentry's got his black hole. Bowser Slave comes in. They didn't even need the explode. Down goes Scree really, really quickly on top of that. Swiggins tries to get an anchor grapple, but it doesn't quite work out. Bad Joe, he's going to go in. He's going to try to do some harassment. He does not end up doing so. Sentry puts up his shield. He has a black hole. It's not a very strong one, though. Bad Joe gets caught in the black hole and the drop. He's still going to live. JM Plays goes down to 100 damage, explode. Swiggins is going in for the chase. Chasing on Bowser Slave ends up becoming a no-no, though. He goes and swigs back to the left side of the field. So Boss coming out on top of that one, getting off a really good explode on Bowser Slave, killing off the Scree, and then on top of that they managed to pick off the Sentry. So that was really quite good.
Bad Joe rocking his cooldown Vinny lifesteal.
It's a really powerful sustain build on Vinny, actually.
Unfortunately, it's been removed in 2.6, so this may be the last we're going to see of it.
Nope. Well, that's true, but you have double dash now instead, so I'm not sad about that. A little bit of harassment coming out. The Penny's just getting some pom-poms, gets anchor dropped. That anchor's not going to last very long, though. The explode comes out, hits JM Plays. Bad Joe gets a double spike dash, hits Voxwave and Sentry. Sentry's out of this fight for now. And Scree is going to be the only one at healthy amounts of HP. Gets hit for a dash, and that seems to be about it for that engagement there.
We're just going to see constant 55 damage spike dives come out from Bad Joe now. Like,
yeah, it's an interesting build. Wow. Okay, so that was really cool. Explode, Spike Dash, and Pulse all coming out together to form a nice big AoE smash in the face. And that ended up picking off the Swiggins of all characters. Sentry still lots of HP. He's got lifesteal on his auto attack now. So he's going to be a little bit harder to take down, especially if Boss decides to initiate in on his photon mines. But otherwise, he'll be fine.
Good pounce, rather.
Very good pounce.
JM plays out in their side. JM plays looking in a tricky situation, gets picked up.
Not
Good play
quite
from Boss.
enough. Not quite enough. He needed a little bit more help from his team, but half of his team was dead and or running back. So Bad Joe gets caught out.
Great setup from Kirby.
Yep.
With the pounce.
Very, very good setup. It was tough to get out of there. So kudos to Kirby Derby for getting that all set up.
Who has bought knockback on pounce, and you can see it doing work right now.
Yeah, it worked out. Oh, Trigger Finger is in a really bad spot with those 50 damage dashes coming out like every couple of seconds, though. I don't expect he'll live long unless if he gets chained to the ground. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Penny was able to catch up and then pulse him to death, and then she just runs upstairs, tries to pick up some HP, then tries to pounce JM plays into the rest of her team, but unfortunately didn't quite get the pounce angle right, so he gets away just fine, no problem.
And bottom is looking very weak now for Unknown Potato.
Yeah,
Probably not long for this world.
This has been a game of ganking and killing, but not so much pushing. Neither team really has an incredibly strong pusher, but Penny, being as fast as she is and a melee character, she went downstairs, did some split pushing. That bottom turret for UNP is going to get is going to go down fairly soon, I think.
Double kill.
Yeah, wow, that was an impressive double kill too. That saw came out at exactly the right time to be able to pick off Bowser Slave, and then a really unfortunate showing up of Vinny got him killed too. Kirby Derby, the only one left to defend right now, going in, trying to get some space made just by harassing and poking with that cheerleader of Penny, but I'm not sure what a Penny can do all on her own against this team. She's hard to catch, and she might be able to distract them long enough that they won't go for the tower, but like at this point, there's not much you can do.
Turret, droids have pushed the bottom turret for Unknown Potato down, and a Super Droid has popped up bottom.
Yeah, that Super Droid is going to help a lot. Kirby Derby is going to be able to make some space with that, and Boss is coming back in, but it's not going to be enough. The top turret is going to go down for Boss, so the first turret...
Really well played from Unknown Potato to pick up that turret. They did really well to sort of capitalize on that double kill.
Yep, and they used the worm to go ahead and eat up the Super Droid, so they don't have to worry about their bottom turret being pushed in anymore. On top of the fact that it's gone. There's that too. That happened to droids, if I remember what you said correctly, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's something that they don't have to worry about. Having a Super Droid just kind of pushing absentmindedly into your middle tower is a bad thing. JM plays, goes down to a nice explode/pounce. The explode actually turning out to be completely unnecessary. Bad Joe getting some damage put in on him from Swiggins, but he's going to be perfectly fine. Kirby Derby manages to avoid the grapple and gets caught by the anchor drop instead. Trigger Finger putting in some harassment. Where's Bowser Slave right now? Bowser Slave is still in the middle, and
Firstly noughting with Vox Wave and Trigger Finger right now.
Yeah, he is. And yeah, everything kind of resets. Blue goes right back to owning the middle of the...
Good pounce.
Very good pounce. And to explode into death. Now that Bowser Slave and his team have...
absolute work picking up all those kills.
And they got... So, like, that kill in particular is really important because Sawblade's really good at counter-pushing. Everything that Scree does is good at counter-pushing. So getting that kill is a really smart one if they want to push in that top tower. Almost a pounce coming out from Penny. It just manages to miss JM plays, though. So JM's going to be fine. He's not going to end up dying. Vinny's doing some damage. Anchor grapple into Black Hole was not quite enough to keep him rooted there. And the split push is real. Yeah, look at the split push. The split push is real right now.
Voxwave just noticing, going back, probably to try and pick him off.
Well, I'm not sure what Swiggins is going to be able to do against a level 20 Penny at this point. But a little bit of pom-pom hitting, some smacking going on, and Kirby Derby's... Oh, now we're in trouble.
Good totem.
It was put way in advance, too. Like, Kirby had no idea that that was there. Kirby does end up going down, but Swiggins costs his, pays his life for it. So, was it worth it? I'm not so sure. But hey, at this point...
Counter that attack from Boss. Good stuff.
And he kills a good kill at this point, though, for Team Unknown Potato. They really just need to get some ground and some extra solar, and those kills are what they desperately need. Top game.
Maybe doing a drop in? No.
No.
Thought better about it.
Yeah. He was just kind of thinking, you know what, I could do it, but got Penny, I'm not so sure anymore.
You can see it in his eyes, he wants to do it.
He wants to. All Clunks want it. Like, good Clunk players are always looking for good opportunities for a drop, and Sentry manages to get a full Black Hole charge up. Boss needs to be a little bit careful. This Black Hole, even if it's only like a base level Black Hole in terms of damage, let's check to see if it is, and it is, that's still 55 damage and, terrible positioning for your whole team. So they would need to be careful with that, I think. Penny going in, looking for a good pounce opportunity, manages to pounce JM plays. Black Hole comes out, hits Kirby Derby. Pulse comes out. Bad Joe goes in for a 3-hit dash. And Bowser Slave was looking for an explosion and couldn't quite get it off. Things seem to have reset. Boss is in a really good position to kind of ambush the red team, though. Pounce coming in, hits two people. Bowser Slave unable to quite get everything to work. His explode being way off. Triggerfinger's in a bad spot anyway, though. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was really close. Grapple coming in. Bad Joe's just going to be able to get away. Swiggins was looking for a random anchor drop. Oh, did you see that? That was really close. That anchor drop almost managing to hit the Vinny, which would have probably cost him his life if there was the teaspoon in a cup. But nope, it's not there. So no, that anchor drop would have been just annoying.
Neither team really sort of doing anything much other than clear lanes right now.
Yeah, they're just kind of playing footsie knots. They're looking for a good opening, which Penny manages to find by a smacking Triggerfinger. Explode comes out on JM Plays. JM Plays losing all of his HP in a matter of seconds. He goes down. Triggerfinger gets pounced back into the fray, and Bad Joe gets a double kill. Really well played by Boss. Boss now has such a huge advantage, and they're not done yet. They managed to get a team wipe off of a good pounce into Bite Splode, and this is the opportunity that Boss is looking for. And if they push as hard as I think they can, they should be able to take out this middle turret as well. 2 turrets, a team wipe. This looks to be the end of Unknown Potato right now.
Absolutely wow, though. Kirby Derby putting in so much work with that pounce.
Seriously.
Really good stuff.
Seriously. I don't think I've seen Penny play like that.
It's like, nope, pounce back in.
It was really impressive, too. I don't think I've seen Penny play like this in a competitive setting yet, and this is exciting. I'm really happy to see what Kirby Derby's been doing.
And we can see on that his build list, he's got that cooldown of pounce and the knockback, just doing work every time they want to get out. It's just nope.
Yeah, and he's always got combo charge. Like he's always got charges on his pounces and his pulses. He's playing really, really close to the wire, and he's doing a good job. A triple pounce under the worm. If only someone was on that button. Grapple coming out. No anchor drop. Explode managed to hit JM Plays. JM Plays puts out the black hole. Black hole managed to hit Bowser Slave. Bowser Slave is in a little bit of trouble. He gets picked off by Swiggins. JM Plays isn't out of this quite yet. Bad Joe's looking for blood. Bad Joe finds blood. Gets the kill. Swiggins is going to go ahead and get out of there. So's Triggerfinger. Triggerfinger's in a bit of a rough spot, but Kirby Derby isn't quite able to catch up. Bad Joe wants a little bit more fun and is not able to quite get it. He's getting chased around by Scree. He needs to be a little bit more careful. But Triggerfinger's going for the kill. Is he going to be actually able to get it? No, Vinny's going to just get away. Or is he? Triggerfinger comes in, gets some left clicks in. And, yep, no, Vinny's just going to be able to outfly him. Kirby Derby manages to back him up, and then that's going to be the end of that. That was an exciting bit of chasing right there. But Blue's not going to let up the pressure right now. Kirby Derby's going in, putting in some damage, doesn't quite get the pounce, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the aggression for now.
Yeah, we can see B-Slave now working on his missiles for that final push on the base.
It's a really good pushing tool, especially if you have frag shells. You're able to deal a lot of AoE damage from a fair distance. You can also go for rage missiles, which seems to be what he's going for. He's got the double missile salvo and the 2-3 missile upgrades. So his second and third missile shots can really do a lot of burst damage right now. It's impressive how much damage his left click can do.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially on the structures.
Yeah, but even like the 2 seconds that he's got you snared and he's exploding, that's a lot of burst. Clunk is scary at this point of the game. If you don't have pills, you're dead. And even if you have pills, grapple into anchor drop coming out on Kirby Derby. Kirby Derby not really caring though. Bad Joe going in for some harassment to counter all that. Gets a dash off and he's going to be fine. Bowser Slave goes in, snare explode. JM Plays gets a lot of damage on him. So does Swiggins. Swiggins goes down to Bad Joe's dash. Bowser Slave gets picked off, however. And, oh, that's 2 for 2. 2 for 1, yeah, you're right, sorry.
Bad Joe wants this one as well.
Yep, and he's going to get it, I'm not sure. JM Plays is in a decent spot, gets dashed. He needs to go home. He's getting blocked. He gets pulsed to death, and that is going to be a lot of damage on the core. There's at least another 10 seconds before Swiggins comes in, but when Swiggins comes in, Bad Joe really needs to be careful. Even with all the solar... Oh, wait, never mind. He gets all of his HP healing back.
He's got lifesteal.
Yeah, that lifesteal really showing what he can do with it. He got, like, a good third of his life back in one dash. Like, that's nuts. Putting out a lot of damage, gets anchor dropped and grappled, and it just doesn't matter. Victory coming out for Team Boss in a really commanding way. 27-9, all the turrets. That was an impressive play. That was an impressive amount of play right there.
Awesome. Good stuff from Team Boss and Team Unknown Potato. Good stuff from both teams. Really exciting gameplay there. Just always back and just really great team fights all round.
Yeah, Bad Joe's early couple of kills, getting the 4-0 as fast as he did, really helped put his team in a vastly superior position, which meant that Swiggins was just... He was a non-factor most of the game. He was there for positioning. He couldn't do enough damage to really make a massive contribution in team fights. And that also allowed
absolutely.
Penny to get the farm that she needed early to become effective. So that was a really commanding beginning, which translated into a really commanding ending for Team Boss.
Yeah, so, I mean, looking at that comp that both the teams were running, it does definitely look like it was in favour of Boss the whole time, with Vinny on Serona just having that free reign up top. Scree probably could have... Probably was the only counter who has that float, but even then, he's not a flying character, so...
Yeah, the only way that it really had to deal with Vinny was a good, strong Swiggins play. And unfortunately, it's not that the player was totally, like, you know, bad or anything, but he just couldn't get off the ground long enough to keep Vinny locked down. With grapple into anchor drop, you can keep Vinny in place long enough to actually kill him, which is kind of what you need to do, especially on this map, but they just weren't able to do that. They weren't able to get their team comp to catch those lone stragglers and kill them. Meanwhile, Penny, who can practically fly, and also Clunk, who can practically fly, on this map, it was brutal. Like, I hadn't really realized it until now, but their entire team could fly effectively. That was really strong for Serona.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I think probably they could have done with someone with even more burst, like a Vinny or a Froggy maybe, instead of that Swiggins, just to capitalise on the holes been placed and that push maybe. I don't know.
I like that. I also would have liked to have seen a Genji come out of them to go for a more tanky approach. Use the cocoon to stop them from...
well.
Yeah, no, I think a Genji would have been straight up amazing in this particular matchup against Boss's team. But with the ban system, with whatever ban system is in place, you can't always guarantee what you're up against. So.
Oh yeah, there were no bans in the first. There were no bans in the first match. But there are bans in the second match, which we shall get onto next.
Perfect.
So shove on the overlay, so no one will see what the games are. And we shall start loading up. A lot of people have been saying there's a lot of mic crackle from your end.
Yeah, and I really don't know why that is. I tried every audio setting in the book.
Okay.
I'll try to configure what I can right now.
So should we just shut down the stream for 1 minute or two, see if we can get that sorted?
Sounds like a plan.
And we'll load up again. So
we'll be back shortly, guys.